My name is Peter Sirik. I'm one of the co-founders of AirFixx Odor Control. Today, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the different odors issues that are problems in condominium buildings. Some are easy, like I don't know if you have food delivery or you have somebody's been to the gym and then wants to pick up a package. And the way to deal with those odors is basically something called a scent diffuser. It makes the air smell fresh and it's got a nice fragrance. More complicated are the odors that come from the compactor and the chutes. The compactor and the chutes have a combination of elements to them. We can call them mechanical elements and biological elements. When they're in harmony, there is no smell from them. So essentially, the mechanical elements we'll talk about first. There's a compactor, there's a chute, and then at the top of the building, there's something called a grate. The grate is often overlooked. It's hard to get at sometimes, so there's professionals that can do that for you, or your super can be trained to go. Some buildings it's easy. The grate gets clogged sometimes with particles, plastic bags, and different things that flow up with the airflow. The airflow in a chute actually works similar to a chimney. The high pressure air at the bottom of it is released as low pressure air at the top. So that needs to be cleaned on a regular basis. It needs to be made sure that air is flowing out of it. Another part of the mechanical thing is there's a water valve that needs to be turned on to the sprinkler, which is basically how the chute wash works. At the top of the chute, there's a mechanical sprinkler. It's like a lawn sprinkler. It sprinkles in a circle down the edges. That sometimes is hard to find where the valve for that is. Sometimes it's obvious, like in the picture. Sometimes it's a switch because it's an electric valve called a solenoid. Sometimes that's something that can be found relatively easily. If you can't find it and you really try, it's something that a plumber can help you with. There's also something called a chute wash pump. And that pump is a small piece of equipment that has a hose attached to it. And that hose goes into the degreaser, which is a fancy name for soap. And that soap is then dispensed into the water with the rinse water and the soapy water that goes into the compactor, into the chute ring. There's a third element, which is the fan that's in the garbage, like the compactor room, and that does two things. It extracts the smelly air from that area, but it also reduces the pressure in that area so that you have less air going up the chute. When you wash a chute, it's very important to mix soap and water, similar to a washing machine with clothes in it, really. There's a soap cycle and then there's a rinse cycle. And that rinse cycle is extremely important. So in the chute, how that works is that you wash the chute with the degreaser. You let it sit for 15 minutes, which is kind of like the washing machine does. It sort of sits there and wiggles back and forth gently. And then you rinse it. Imagine if you took your clothes out of a washing machine that you just did that to and then you left it and forgot about it for 2 days and come back. It would stink. Same thing happens to a chute. If you don't rinse it, even though it smells wonderful at the moment, 2 days later, all of that soap has rotted and you smell rotten. And that's where it's very important to rinse it. So from the top to the bottom process, you need to make sure that the grate is clean, that the chute is clean, that the compactor is clean. And to do this properly, a super needs time without interruptions. If he's interrupted, he can't do it properly. The residents will also need to be warned that the chutes won't be available during chute washing. This solves chute issues, mechanical and organic. When it's in harmony, there's no smell. So when it's all clean and you have fewer complaints, your building it can't smell. There's no place for it to come from. And that is sort of the basic, if you eliminate odors, you elevate living. Thank you very much for your time.